Okay, two subjects today. First is super PACs with the Citizens United decision with the unlimited funding for ads. This is truly the cancer of the political system. Super PACs are brief sound bites that depict usually hate and demonization of the other side. Even on Charlie Sykes' show this morning on WTMJ, he was talking about an Obama ad were apparently paid for by a super PAC to help Obama, and that ad was littered with false statements and errors of logic. So both sides are guilty. So what this is, it really is an escalation of demonization from both sides. So it's not rational. Super PACs are the cancer of society. Citizens United is very wrong-headed. It's wrong for democracy, and Thomas Jefferson would be turning over in his grave. Super PACs in 2010, a few weeks after the Supreme Court decision in Citizens United, the Court of Appeals of D.C. ruled in speechnow.org that PACs that did not make contributions to candidates, parties, or other PACs could accept unlimited contributions from individuals, unions, corporations for the purpose of making independent expenditures. The result of the Citizens United and speechnow.org decisions was the rise in 2010 of a new type of political action committee, popularly dubbed the super PAC. And again, this is I think the cancer of one of the cancers of democracy. The super PACs were made possible by two judicial decisions. First, in January of 2010, held in Citizens United versus Federal Election Commission, the government may not prohibit unions and corporations from making independent expenditure for political purposes. 2 months later, in the speechnow.org versus FEC, the Federal Court of Appeals for D.C. Court held that contributions to groups that only make independent expenditures cannot be limited in the size or source of contributions to the group. So to raise unlimited money, in my opinion, is just not good at all for democracy or what we stand for, that people have a right. Pretty soon people are going to say, well, my voice doesn't matter, there's going to be this mass alienization. That's not a word. Alienation, how about that? And this unrest in the streets is going to get worse and worse as the disparity between rich and poor goes farther and farther and farther. So the strength of democracy is the middle class. Democrats are right on that. And to maintain this country club attitude, this cavalier Donald Trump type, I got my golf course, I got my money, and screw the rest of you, that's not going to work. Okay. First Amendment to the Bill of Rights was something that I was looking at from a recent book by Susan Jacoby called Free Thinkers, which is pretty cool. Got me to think about how church and state should be separated. That's another part of democracy that's slowly eroding if we don't do anything about it. So we're talking about the subtle erosion of democracy and the forces that do that. Now the Democrats are complicit in that too by accepting super PAC money. But then again, it's sort of like either they play the game, they play the country club game, or they don't. So it's a dirty game. Politics should not be a dirty game. It should be about people. We get people like Mark Newman who are, in my opinion, they're blurring this church versus state definition by saying if hospitals carry birth control or carry some of these so-called anti-abortion pills, that they're infringing on his religion. Or you can look at it either way. You can look at it as his religious views are sort of absorbing into society, or hey kitty, how you doing? He doesn't have a voice, but he's a good cat. Okay, so kitty, I'm doing YouTube right now, so is that okay? Do you have an opinion? Are you a Democrat or Republican? Okay, bye. So anyway, I guess my main theme is the subtle erosion of democracy. And another thing that does that too is this erosion of irrational thinking into democracy. This from Jacoby's book, and a quote from Thomas Jefferson. Difference of opinion is advantageous in religion. The several sects form a censor morum over each other. Is uniformity attainable? Well, millions of innocent men, women, and children since the introduction of Christianity have been burnt, tortured, fined, imprisoned, yet we have not advanced 1 inch toward uniformity. What have been the effects of coercion? To make one half of the world fools and the other half hypocrites, to support roguery and terror all over the world. Let us reflect that it is inhabited by 1,000 millions of people, that these profess probably 1,000 different systems of religion, that ours is but one of that 1,000. So what he's taking aim at is especially political candidates that throw their Christianity all over the place. And guess what? There are Hindus, there are Sikhs, there are Hopi Indians, there are all kinds of people. So, again, tolerance of belief systems, and this is not a Christian nation.